Okay, today we're going to be talking about electricity and its shape and pattern, and we'll see where we go from there. As you can see on screen, that's lightning. We all know it as zigzaggy stuff. There's no denying it. We all believe that that's how it travels because relatively it does. We've all seen its effects, and we know that lightning travels in a zigzag. Well, today I'm going to break down exactly how it travels and then show you some planetary examples. So immediately there is your zigzag lightning. So there's no denying it. We'll all get out there and look at pictures. Lightning is zigzag. Some of it is Liechtenstein figure, but we're not discussing that here today. We're talking about true vertical movement of energy. Okay, so what we see on the screen here is some kind of experiment called Untitled Lightning 3. Showing electrical discharge. I believe it's to see how it would interact with airplanes, because we can see a model there hovering in the picture. But if we zoom in, as we can see, it's a ladder. It steps up, across, across, across. This is in fact a double helix spiral. You just can't get in close enough to see it, but if you go and have a look at other electrical arcs, you'll see all kind of twisted braids. Okay, so I drew this back on the 15th of September 2014, and we'll go to the top left hand picture, and you will see that on the left there I've got rung, 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 and the direction of smoke travel, and the picture in the middle shows the travel up and down. So if we go to the picture where it says rungs and we take the right hand bottom vortex, it goes up, across to the left and up. And the one on the bottom left goes up, across to the right and up. But then they come back again. So each one is going up, across to the right, up, across to the left, up, across to the right, up, across to the left, up. So can you see that picture in your mind? I mean, that's also the travel of DNA that I've got there, and it's also the travel of waves going up and down a beach. So it's not like I haven't linked this to other things, because all energy travels the same. So again though, the procedure for rising energy from a radiation fire, which is electromagnetism and electricity, all linked together. It goes up, across to the right and up, across to the left and up, across to the right and up, across to the left and up, across to the right and up. And that's what it does. That's the nature of energy travel, and it can be seen in smoke, as you can see on the screen there. And as well as that, because we'll be looking at planetary bodies, we're again going to be showing that I've shown the configuration of how craters are made by energy travel, whether it be electricity, water, steam. They all correspond to exactly this pattern. So those pictures on the left, those data photographs of varying kind of craters, which I say were electrical discharges. We'll also be seeing that on a video that I'm about to show of Google Earth. This is a little short video on the failure analysis of ball bearings and arc welding, as you can see by the shapes, because I'm going to go through 4 of them here. These are exactly the same as the Ceres crater, and these were done with an arc lightning strike. As you can see, you should actually check the Ceres and craters elsewhere for these markings, because you can find them in a lot of different places. And this is just a quick photo from the video that I'm about to show of Google Mars, and this basically shows you that those are the same markings that you're going to see on Google Earth and that you've seen on Ceres and the Moon and everywhere else in the universe, and I've shown how these are made by energy travel. Now this is a quick clip from Google Mars, and I just wanted to zoom in on where the Mars scar is and show you electrical lightning zigzagging across the planet. There it is. It looks the same as the arc strike we saw, which is that one. This is one of millions that are on Mars and anywhere else that there's been any kind of electrical event. So and as you can see, there's a lump there in that crater, same as the Ceres. Now, all these lines are doing all the same thing. They are all zigzag lines caused by massive electrical events. So here we go with Google Earth and the kind of crazy stuff you can see on Google Earth. First of all, you all heard me talking about electricity stepping up, across to the left and up, across to the right and up. Is there evidence on the planet Earth of this happening? Well, if you look underneath the sea, and all the names are up so you can check all this. And there's always a center burn, because there is always a Lorentz force particle to wave duality. It goes up in a vortex, spreads sideways in a wave, curls around to one side, and then goes back up again. So you get an S-shaped zigzag pattern as it shoots forward, spins around clockwise, shoots forward, spins around counterclockwise, shoots forward, spins around clockwise. And this is the marks you would get, is my belief. Because if you've got any other reason for these marks being on the seafloor other than aliens, then I'd truly like to hear it. But if you think it's aliens, then you really are trusting in magic and fables and all kinds of nonsense that you absolutely have no proof for. Whereas I've shown how all energy travels from over a year ago, and oh look, now I'm finding evidence of it wherever the heck I want to look. So really, yeah, the only person who's done anything scientific in explaining any of this kind of phenomena other than aliens is me, by energy flow and electrical travel being double helix, and the energy rotates. So these patterns go everywhere. You've got a couple of horns there, and there you've got the Aleph of God. You have the circle at the bottom and the two horns, which I thought that was kind of pretty sweet. And that's where the two separate beams widened out and went off in different directions. But yeah, that's the Aleph of God. As you can see, one is crossing over the other, which means one was in front of the other and hit the ground first, and then the second came down and laid a separate trail. And so here we go again. Only lightning makes right angled turn degrees. There's nothing really following where that goes to. That just goes to the land. As you can see, it crosses the ridge there, so the ridge was there before the lightning. And now, what do you see? I see a swastika, because a swastika is based on power travel. And then we've got one spin there, out to the right, back and in. That, to me, is the rotational galaxy flow that I've shown with my particle to wave duality solved. Here we see electrical strikes. There we have the debris in the middle, as we've seen with all the Ceres lights. And again, this pattern just continuing up, because these aren't roads, these aren't anything other than electrical events. There's some molten there as it dragged it across, because energy moves matter. And again, stepping all the way up, and right angle turns. So these weren't roads, they weren't runways, they're not language. This is energy flow across rock. And as you can see, it doesn't matter how far in or out you go, it is a fractal pattern, which again means it's electrical, because only electricity is fractal, and it leaves the same pattern again and again. All Lichtenberg figures show this, all trees show this. All electrical events. So there you go. That's quite the electrical strike. Halfway around the globe. Here's another spot with the same up, across, up, across, up, across. Land doesn't crack like that. Energy moves like that, and it melts everything it touches as it travels in straight lines and right angles. passing through different levels. Even a groove there showing where it hopped across a level through the center of the wave. More jumping, you can even see the canyon groove through the middle. All this you will find with electric arcing under electron microscopes, because electricity is fractal and can be found anywhere at varying sizes of reality. So unless you think there was a massive building there that had a kind of slopey staircase drawn on the floor, that's electric arcing. And then we see the Ceres electrical arc weld blasts. That's what you get from an electricity strike, right next to what I say is energy movement. So here we go again. This is all the Ceres examples showing that, and Mars as well, that we had electrical strikes and yet we still have water and an atmosphere. So to say that other planets had a lot of water cannot be proven, because this is underwater and yet we still have water and an atmosphere, and we have the same damage as a lot of other planets. Not quite as truly wide scale, but all of this is electrical damage, and yet we still have water. So you can continue to believe that planets move by gravity and all other kind of nonsense, or you can look at what's presented in front of your eyes and understand that electricity has bombarded this planet and shaped this planet. It travels through it in a double helix turning it. I'll be doing a video of that tomorrow, showing exactly why the southern hemisphere rotates clockwise, the atmosphere and water, and the northern rotates counterclockwise, and yet we're all rotating counterclockwise. I'll be showing exactly how that's done by double helix rotation and God's Aleph, which I have shown is electromagnetic radiation coming from the sun. Again, an example of electricity that is fractally visible at a certain reality, which is the size of the sun. There's more electrical strikes. So yeah, as you can see, same as the craters on Mars, same as the Ceres lumps, all in chains. So it's all electrical. I've shown its passage, I've shown it for over 18 months now, something like that, and there's absolutely no denying that all these are electrical strikes. They're not to do with meteorites or anything stupid like that. That's just foolish talk. That's blind men talk, that is. We think because we guessed. Well, I figured out all energy travel because God showed it to me and then allowed me to understand how it all works, which I've put on videos for everybody to learn. All them videos are in order, basically, and they show me, as all science experiments go, things change as you go along. I realised the single helix was a double helix because it has two arms, which gave birth to the electromagnetic waveform, which is the cross of God, which is the Aleph of God, and is all energy travel from electricity to rising steam. So yeah, I've linked energy travel to everything in the universe because God showed it to me in the eternal figure eight infinity loop, the snake that eats itself. And I showed the snake that eats itself on my last video of Birkeland currents in smoke. So yeah, all this damage done by electricity. And the rest of this is just same old, more electrical craters, more evidence showing that Ceres lights electrical in nature, energetic in nature, and all these kind of marks were made by electricity. Thanks very much. My name's Lee, and I'm a Christian.